Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to a Let's Pixel tutorial video. For today's Let's Pixel video, I'm going to take, so this is the character that I quickly designed for my Ludum Dare game, and I'm going to take this character and I'm going to make a better version, hopefully. Hopefully it'll end up better in the long run. Just because this one was, the animation was sloppy and it just doesn't look very nice, very polished. So I'm going to make a better version of this character, and it can show you how you could take maybe a quick sketch that you've done, something that's not really super nice, you know, where you grabbed a few colors, threw them down, and take it and make it into something better than what it actually is. So part of what's going to change is I'm planning on developing this project further, my Death Touch game. That I'll probably end up changing the name of it, but I'm gonna develop it further because I like the concept and I like the game mechanic that was in it, and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun working on it. So one of the things that I want to change though is I want to put it in more of like a science fiction type setting, where this one feels kind of in like a fantasy type setting where you're fighting goblins and you seem to be able to magically teleport, but I want to put it in a science fiction like setting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. Let's go. I'm going to start getting rid of stuff a little bit here. Let's get rid of this right here. Let's give our character some form outside of the weird cloak thing that I had on him before. Like this. It looks like the character is in a weird jumpsuit. I'm going to take off this up here that I had, like this, and zoom out a bit and see what we've got here. Okay. And this is kind of the base for what my character looks like. Might round some of these shoulders off just a bit. Well, we can leave that there. Come up just a bit more. And we've got the base for what the character looks like. So now I want to think in terms of putting different layers onto this character to create something more. I'm going to take, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Take this dark gray so that the character is not perfectly black, because that generally in pixel art you want to avoid completely black or completely white. So you can do a little bit off black or a little bit off white, and that can be helpful. We're going to give this character kind of a bluer tone for pants. Well, actually I'm going to go with the brown, I think. Yeah, something like that probably. And then we'll go with another kind of brown color. We'll go a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit more yellow for this, I think. And make it grayer, but bring it up lighter like that. use this for the shirt. It's too bright though. I need to darken that up a bit. Yeah, that's better. I'm just going to cut this off right there. And I don't want the character's pants to go all the way down, so I'm going to put some of the skin tone down here again. That's looking pretty good. And this character is going to be kind of like a wanderer type character, so I imagine that part of the reason I'm not doing arms is because it's going to have like a, you know, like cloth and clothing draped over the character. So let's get a nice cool blue color for that. Is what I want to do. So we'll see how this looks. Now we lost all of our other color with that, but so I actually want to make this darker probably. And so one of the things that I'm doing is I want it to kind of come over here, and then on this side of the character it's going to hug up against the character a little bit more. Oops. Let's see. We'll come back like this, like the wind is blowing it over in this direction, and then when it gets to this side it's like right up, kind of hugging the character a little bit because the wind's pushed it right up against the character. So, and probably bring this out more than it is. And chop some of this up so it looks more, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, so it looks more crisp, I guess. Kind of pulled tight. Okay. Now what we need to do is add some folds into this, and a lot of you might struggle with fabric, so this might be kind of a good example for you. But I'm just going to try and visualize where these folds might be in this fabric. So generally what happens is it's tight up against over here, so there's not going to be like big lines right here in the character, like this. That's not going to look good. What's going to look better is to leave that area kind of thinner, and as it gets down towards this area, then we grow out from here. So we can kind of grab and get thicker there to show that the fold has gotten more prominent, I guess. There's more of a shadow because it goes higher down here. So kind of like this. And let's try and keep these consistent. So it'll come down like this, and can't get that to look just quite how I want it, can I? That's okay. Come out a little bit more right there. There might be a fold right here, like a smaller one maybe. I'm just trying to look at this and see what it might do. And then this section right here might come up, and this section as well. Something like this. Yeah. So you can see that's going to look a little bit better. Now we can add some shading up here to make this look maybe a little bit more folded as well, up around the neck area. Like this. That might be a little too much. It's not looking too bad. Just try and clean this up a bit so it looks nicer. Because we want this to be, I don't know, these to be nice and smooth, I guess. Like that. Cool, let's look at that from far back. That's looking better. Now before my character had a hat type thing on, I kind of want to make it this whole thing into like a robe. So let's grab this and come out right here like this. Come up over the top of the character like this, and then back down. And I'm hoping to get this to look more like a robe, we'll see. I'm going to come out right there a bit and come out right here. And then we're going to paint on the inside here for sure. And pull this further over this part of the character, because it's not going to show their whole face. This section's going to come down more in front like this to give that robe-like. That's going to be a new genre, the robe-likes. Okay. To give it that kind of a feel of going up over the character, and it's good to do like a folding. That didn't work quite how I wanted to. Cut that out. Like the folding, how it comes out like this on the edges. That helps quite a bit. And now I'm liking this character a lot more. Don't really like the blue color yet still. So let's try a technique with the colorized partial. And we'll grab the blue. And we'll try some different colors here. The brown actually looks pretty cool. And the green. My original character was purple. Maybe I'll stick with the purple color. I kind of like that purple color with this brown. It looks cool. So I'm going to stick with the purple color. And you can see this is the old character right here. Let's see. And here's the newer one, and there's a drastic difference in the way they look. I mean, this newer one just looks cleaner, just looks nicer, crisper. The pixel art's better. Now let's animate it, which is going to be tricky. Okay, so this is just going to be an idle. I'm just going to do the idle in this video. But I'm not even sure how I'm going to do that. So I'm thinking 3 or 4 frames. We'll see. Let's try just adjusting these a hair. And sure. Pull this off a little bit, pull this out right here, and then pull this one further this direction like this. I might do this kind of fast and not clean it up quite yet. Pull this down there, pull this out here, over. I'm trying to move everything over a little bit at a time. Come over here more with this now. And this is going to disappear over here more. This is going to come up here more. Before this was a lot more jagged. I probably want to leave that, give that impression that it's still kind of jagged like that. Pull this dark up here more. I'm using 1 and 2, or I'm using 2 actually right now to shift between them. And I'm gonna move the head down just a bit, I think. Might not actually. It's too late. I'll copy this from the first one just to make sure the head's not down. Dang it, copied it down still. Pull it up. Right here. Yeah, there we go. Only now this is lower. Don't move pixels you don't need, but move all the ones, move as many as you can that you need to move, I guess. Because it looks good that way. So what's going to happen is we're going to try and create a loop here. Where one of our fabrics turns into the other one. And this needs to go up higher still. And it's a little tricky to do this. I've never actually tried to do this type of thing before. Now we need one that's going to be kind of in the middle of those two. So it's going to go from this frame to this frame, back to this frame. So if we look, this frame has this big piece right here, and this one has a big piece right there. Oh no, we need to go from this big piece right here needs to turn into this smaller piece. So we've got to bring this. So this needs to come all the way up right here. This needs to come more kind of right here. This big piece is going to come right here. We're going to get rid of this. This piece is going to come clear over here now. Like that. This piece needs to turn in. This needs to come up higher still. And so does this to make it look like that smaller one. I'm trying to loop these, so it'll go. There's the first one. Here's, let's see. Guess this is going to be the new bigger one. I don't know. I'm kind of lost. It's a little confusing, honestly. I'm just trying to move the black pieces to make them look like they're flowing. It's probably not that bad of an animation right now. Like if I put this down to 6 or something. It still doesn't look quite right, you know? Here's the first one. See, we started editing the wrong one, I think, because this one should go after that one. There, that looks better. Yeah, I started editing the wrong one. So we go from here to here, right, to here. This doesn't look too bad. Here to here. Here to here to here. This needs to come up higher. This needs to come up higher. Like that. I'm always pulling the darker colors in and the lighter colors out. Oops. So these curve in, lighter colors curve out. Darker colors curve in, lighter colors curve out, if you can see that, the way I'm doing that. So it should go from this one to this one. So this needs to be way bigger down here, because it's going to turn into that bigger one, that bigger color. This needs to start to come back in again. And this is going to come clear out here like this. That looks better, a little bit. That's not a bad fabric animation. I've never actually done a fabric animation, I don't think. It's definitely tricky, not gonna lie. Who knew we'd be doing a fabric animation in the Let's Pixel today? I didn't. and I'm doing it. Grab that. This is probably needs a little bit of cleanup still. Might change this a bit too. Change some of these pixels just a little bit to give it. Okay, so here's our starting one. Let's go to this one and we'll pull this over just a bit. Just going to move some of these pixels around. And a few of these maybe. Just to give it the illusion of motion as well. Honestly, it doesn't look super great to me, but it's amazing what at least improves the look of something. There you go. We've got animating cloth as it blows in the wind. Doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna make those come out more. Pretty fast, but don't know how this looks more science fiction than it did before. Kind of doesn't to me. Kind of looks like the same. But there's also a pretty big jump. And I think it's from, let's see, we go from this frame right here. I might round this off just a bit. It's pretty harsh edge. That too. So we go from this frame here. That's a soft movement. To that one. That's a pretty big movement. Especially I've got a big one here and a big one here. Turns into a big one here and a smaller one there. I think honestly this needs to be the bigger one. So we come in right there, come back out again, I guess. It just doesn't look like this piece is moving though. It makes it look like that piece. This middle piece needs to be there, honestly. There needs to be a middle piece there. Because there's this piece here, we need to move this black piece to here now. I need to focus on the darker, the shadows, where the shadows are going. So we move that piece up, okay, good. Move this piece up, good. Did that. We move that other one up, make it just tiny right there. Okay, did that. Move this one over as well, just a little bit, because that one needed to move over. And this dark one right there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark ones. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark ones still. And this piece needs to come quite a bit higher, I feel like, to make it turn into that piece. Make it come higher here too. Yeah, so watch this middle piece right here at the bottom. It's there, and then it comes to here, and then it comes to there, and then it comes to here, then it comes to here, and it comes to... No, it's not doing that. It starts here, goes to here, comes to here, comes to up here, comes to up here, comes to here, comes to here. Yeah, it should give the illusion that it's slowly crawling up. This needs to come in. This needs to come out. This needs to come in as well. That looks way better than it did before. Actually, yeah, that's looking good. Okay. It's still a little bit jumpy. Just because this is a little bit too big, I think. I think that would look a little bit better smaller. Like that, with this coming. Add a little more. That's way better though. That's looking really smooth. Okay, so what I've been doing, and I'm trying to explain it as best I can, I'm trying to make these shadows, I'm trying to follow the shadows as they move across the fabric. So this shadow right here moves to this shadow right here, which then becomes this shadow right here, which then becomes this bigger one right here, which then becomes a slightly smaller one here, and then this smaller one here, and then this even smaller one here, and this one here, and then this tiny one right here, and then it's gone. And so the shadow starts on this side, and it should slowly move across all the way to create that blowing in the wind type illusion that you get. And hopefully that was a good explanation, because this can be really tricky to animate fabric, and I've honestly really never done it before, so it's kind of new to me as well, but hopefully you guys learned something from this, and I definitely like this character a lot more. It'll be interesting to watch the character change. I don't know if I'll even stick with this one, you never know, but thank you guys for watching. Be sure and like, favorite, and subscribe. And comment below what you want to see next. I had a lot of people say a water tile. I don't know if they meant animated or just like a basic water tile for an RPG game. You guys need to be really specific. It helps me when you're specific. So you just say, I want a water tile for a top view, or for a isometric type view, or an RPG, or like a 2.5D type game, or you want a water tile for a platformer. I don't know. So just be really specific. I assume you mean a top-down game, so maybe I'll do that next for a water tile. But thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.